New York Times? You mean the same people that got a Pulitzer for lying about the Russiagate hoax?
The president mentioned that you had to deal with all the slings and arrows during your time at Doge. There's this New York
some of the people, some of the media organizations in this room were the slingers.
Well, so there is a New York Times report today that accuses you of blurring the line between.
It's the New York Times. Is that the same publication that got a Pulitzer Prize for false reporting on the Russiagate? Is it the same organization?
I
think it is. I think the judge just ruled against the New York Times for their lies about the Russiagate hoax, and that they might have to give back that Pulitzer Prize. That New York Times,
I love, and Elon says, let's move on, because he understands, just shut it down right there. There's no reason to really respond to these people because they're always making stuff up. This is the perfect tactic to shutting down this kind of an issue.
move on.
Okay.
I think what I'll do, if you don't mind, numbers have just come out which are rather extraordinary, and I thought I'd play a tape of one of the people who I've respected over the years, from Joe Kiernan and Rick Santelli. This just came out, and we'll just play that for a second.
Personal income is up 0.8%. That is almost triple the expectations. I'll tell you that the income numbers, really, for the first 4 months of the year, they're stellar. They're really stellar. I mean, I could go back and look at the first 4 months of many different years. Really very strong numbers, and you're right. This administration is criticized for just about everything under the sun. I've never, ever in my lifetime had glimpses into the politics of an administration in the form of transparency like this one. Why don't we be, give credit where credit is due? Income really shooting up.
Rick, I also thought everybody was going to get one last order of imports that were going to be tariffed, and they were loading up on things. How the hell they already fix the trade, or not fix it, but to cut it in half? That's crazy. So there wasn't a lot of front loading of things that they needed before the tariffs hit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it really does call into question some of the conventional wisdoms. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next month when we get this number, or we see some of the other numbers like current accounts, see how they fared. Because I don't know, I've been watching these numbers a long time. I don't think I've ever seen the trade deficit cut in half in 1 month.
And that is something that is unbelievable. This is the content president. Because first off, he's allowing all of these reporters, all these people to constantly be filming him, live streaming him, something that we've really never seen before in a president, which is crazy because since 2008, we've had smartphones and live streaming and stuff. So it's amazing that he's for the first time actually allowing this to be a regular thing. But also like he did with the African president, where he is just willing to sit and show a video to his detractors and be like, well, wait, you mean this thing that you're saying? To actually disprove them. Because that's how you need to do it. You got to show the proof. You've got to show the third-party evidence. And this is something that he is willingly able to do. And I absolutely love that. This is something that should have been done long ago in the presidency.
Not bad. Right? Not bad.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. I see Howard and Scott are here, so it's great. You guys want to stand over here? You might as well. You're the ones that help produce those numbers, and it'll only get better. The tariffs are so important, and that's why we were so happy with the decision yesterday where the tariffs continue, because without the tariffs, our nation would be imperiled. We would really be imperiled. I think I can say that with great surety, Scott and Howard. And so we were very happy to get that decision, that big decision yesterday.
Well, would you like to see the Senate build in some support for your tariffs on the big, beautiful bill, or should that be a standalone bill?
I have great support on the tariffs. I mean, I was so honored that we got that ridiculous stay lifted, because that would have taken away presidential power. It would have taken away everything that was granted by the founders. It would have been a terrible thing. And it would have, most importantly, would have left us vulnerable. We have a lot of countries that use tariffs on us and use them viciously, actually, viciously. Yeah. And if we didn't have the power to use tariffs on them, and instantly, not when you go back to Congress and try and get hundreds of people to agree on something, that would take months to get just one simple proclamation. If we didn't have the power to counteract their powers, you wouldn't have a country left. We have to act fast. We have to be fast and nimble, as they say.
And this is absolutely, completely true. We are in such a state right now as a country because we've just been wasting literally trillions with a T dollars on BS. Literally billions and trillions unaccounted for with USAID. All of these kind of expenditures added up, and now we are in debt $200,000 for every American citizen. Think about how profoundly in debt that makes us. And it is going to take some growing pains. We are going to have to start setting tariffs and start showing other countries that we actually mean business. And it's ironic to me that the Democrats are here acting like they have no understanding. They're the ones wasting our money, yet seem to be angry that we actually have to pay a little bit more to fix things. It's so funny to me because this is going to take growing pains. They're trying to steal Donald Trump's presidential powers little by little in every single way, this just being one of them. So Trump is doing exactly what he has to do, in my opinion.
And that was a really great moment, I think, yesterday when that stay was lifted. And hopefully now we'll go to court and just win that battle. Because if we don't have the power to do what they're doing to us, we are going to be a great nation no longer.
What changes do you want to see the Senate make? And you had also indicated there were things you didn't like about the bill. What would you be suggesting he push senators to change in their version?
Well, I'll tell you, I'll go first. It's an unbelievable bill. It cuts your deficits. It cuts, it's a huge cutting. But there's things I'd like to see maybe cut a little bit more. I'd like to see a bigger cut in taxes. It's going to be the largest tax decrease or cut in the history of our country. I'd like to see it get down to an even lower number. I was shooting for a slightly lower number. I would have liked to have done that. But with all of that being said, when you look at the tax cut and the fact that the original tax cut, which made us so successful, we had the most successful 4 years in the history of our country, the economy, and this is going to be even better. And you see that by the reports that came out just yesterday or tonight. I guess they were released this morning at 8 o'clock. You see the kind of numbers where somebody that's a pro is like, whoa, I haven't seen numbers like this since I've been doing this. These are human emotions of professionals that have never seen numbers like, and we've just started. If it doesn't get approved, you'll have a 68% tax increase. You're going to go up 68%. That's a number that nobody's ever heard of before. If it does get approved, you'll have a large tax cut, the largest we've ever had. When you add the past tax cuts that we got you, the Trump tax, they call them the Trump tax cuts.
And he is right. This bill creates a lot of new tax exemptions. It's trying to help the struggling American. And to be fair, his tariffs actually did bring in a ton of revenue in May. And hopefully other countries are ready to negotiate and we can just kind of work on this whole tariff situation. But I'd love to know what you have to say about this. So please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.